Hi everyone, and welcome to today's morning report with me, Richard Perry, market analyst at Hantech Markets for Monday the 10th of March. The trading day has started fairly mutedly. The US close on Friday was just a hair's breadth above flat, and that is actually a little bit disappointing considering how strong non-farm payrolls was. But still, nonetheless, the S&P 500 made yet another all-time high. But the trading day in Asia on Monday has been pretty negative. Actually, you had a pretty large amount of Japanese and Chinese data actually that disappointed investors and certainly took any sort of non-farm payrolls related exuberance out of the markets, and actually saw a decline there. The Chinese export data was significantly worse than expected, and also Japanese Q4 GDP was revised lower, and there was also a worse than expected trade deficit as well out of Japan as well. So the outlook was fairly negative into the European session, risk off. Stock markets opened lower in initial trading, but have since recovered to close their gaps lower at the open. Currency-wise, euros still holding up quite nicely. The moves from Draghi on Thursday have seemed to have outweighed the any dollar-related strength from non-farm payrolls. So that's a positive. Sterling less so. Sterling's a little bit weaker today, so that's an interesting development there. After weeks of sterling outperformance against the euro, that seems to be possibly turning around now, so it's one to watch in the coming days, I think. But the data that we need to watch out for today, there's only really the eurozone investor confidence. That's at 10:30. And there's no real US data to watch either this afternoon. One thing I would point out is just be careful that the the US markets will be opening an hour earlier today due to the daylight savings time shift that happened over the weekend. So for the next couple of weeks, the US markets will be, US investors will be trading an hour earlier than European markets. My chart of the day is actually going to be the DAX, and I've been really quite concerned about the underperformance of the DAX and the FTSE, to be honest, in the recent few days against the S&P 500, and that has come at the time at which the S&P has been making a series of higher highs. The DAX has actually been in decline, and today opened below the key low of 9358. And looks fairly weak. The momentum indicators are all still corrective. The MACD had a sell signal, and the lines continue to fall away, which is not all that positive. The RSI continues also in decline, as does the stochastics as well. The breakdown of that kilo at 9358. That low was the nadir on Monday, which happened as the markets had to try and factor in what was going on in the Ukraine. They that thought the prospect of a pretty nasty conflict was on the cards, but there was a significant turnaround. But that turnaround has been entirely now priced out of this DAX chart, and today the DAX opened significantly lower. It's actually since rebounded. And I think what is interesting at play here in the DAX, this is on intraday basis. You've got this big breakdown of the support around 9490, and I think that could be an interesting level with all these moving averages now turning lower. The intraday momentum signals are fairly bearish as well, so I think that any sort of bounce up into this trading band between the breakdown and the low. This is actually 9368 is a historic pivot level actually for the DAX, so that's an interesting level to watch out for immediately. It's just slightly above there at the moment, but I think you need to be careful about this key resistance level here at 9490, and I think any sort of bounce up towards there and then it subsequently falling over would be fairly weak signal, I think, and would form yet another lower high there. So just watch out for that in the coming days. But this is a chart I'm going to be keeping my eye on, I think, as the week progresses. Anyway, I wish you good luck in your trading of the DAX today, and anything you do trade. I wish you good luck, and I will speak to you later. Thank you very much.